Greetings. My name is Dr. Wadell Brooks Sr., your host, and this is Lake County Community Forum. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening we have an outstanding guest, Dr. Sharon Sanders-Funnye. She's a person that Lake County should know. Greetings, Sharon.
Good afternoon, Dr. Brooks. How are you?
All right. I'm very happy that you took time from your very busy schedule this wintry afternoon to be on Community Forum. Of course, we don't have to be outside doing the show. But I want to start off by having you tell our listening audience a little bit about your personal and professional background.
Well, I am a graduate of Savannah State University. Back then it was called Savannah State College in Savannah, Georgia, which is where the Dream Center name came from. I received a master's from Alabama A&M University out of Normal, Alabama, Huntsville, that area.
Okay.
And then I went on to get my doctorate from National Louis University in Chicago. So I have gotten all of my education. I actually did the doctorate a little later in life after I raised my family. And so just excited that I had an opportunity to get an education.
Well, Dr. Funnye, I understand you are a dreamer. And if I could just mention other dreamers, Joseph in the Bible, was a dreamer, right? Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a dreamer. Dr. Daisy M. Brooks of North Chicago is a dreamer. President Barack Obama, yes, we can, is a dreamer. and there are many others, but I'd like to mention one other one, Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson Sr., Keep Hope Alive.
Yes.
Now, tell us about your dream, Savannah Dream Center Incorporated.
Okay, if I could just take one step back, I want to just talk a little bit about my life and how Savannah Dream Center came to be. So my life was actually transformed through education. As I said, it was a great opportunity for me. I'm the daughter of a working mom who was a certified nursing assistant. Mm-hmm. My dad is a retired carpenter. My mom always told me that I needed to go to college, and I believed her. So I always thought that I could go. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until my senior year in high school when I got ready to complete the financial aid forms, and back then they just called it the Pell Grant form. Mm-hmm. They weren't calling it FAFSA.
I remember.
But at that time, when I took a look at our finances, because of course you had to share your parents' finances, I didn't realize that we were poor. I just never knew that. We were poor in money, but very wealthy in spirit. Yeah. And so as a result of that, being a high school senior, I knew that I could pursue my education. And I looked for scholarships and I looked for other opportunities to do that. And God made a way and I was able to accomplish that. So just by dreaming first that I could do it, and then having strong support systems around me, many support systems, I knew that I could do it, and I was able to accomplish that. So Savannah Dream Center, to me, is not just an organization, but it is actually a calling. It is a calling because I believe that God called me to this work. Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, Dr. Brooks, I'm reminded of a time when I moved to this area. So I am from Savannah, Georgia. And when I moved here and started working in the area, I was fortunate enough to go to church with one of your daughters, Yolanda.
Yes.
And as a result of that experience, she introduced me, told me about the work that your wife, Dr. Daisy Brooks, was doing. And I was so over the moon with that I said, I must meet this woman. And as a result of meeting her and sitting and having that conversation and seeing all the wonderful work that she was doing in the North Chicago area, I knew that was an inspiration to me. And I knew that was something that I could do. I could actually, as I was talking to her, envision myself doing similar work in my hometown of Savannah, Georgia.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, I'm very happy that you had a chance to meet. God works in mysterious ways, right?
He does.
Yeah, His wonders to perform. Now you can tell us about your Dream Savannah Dream Center.
Okay, well, I will tell you that our tagline for Savannah Dream Center is transforming lives through education. I think that's very similar to the work that Dr. Daisy Brooks has done in that area of North Chicago. And so really all of the work that I do is really trying to encourage students to dream first and then inspire them to seek after pursuing and fulfilling that dream. And so the dreams that have meant the most to me in my life have been those dreams where I wanted to be a scientist. I grew up as a 6-year-old girl wanting to be a scientist. And as a result of having people, again, my mother, family members who supported me, mentors, female mentors in college who supported me, I was able to go on and to become a food scientist. That is how I ended up in this Illinois area. I actually used to work for Kraft Foods for about 16 years prior to going into education.
Yeah, we're aware of Kraft Foods. They made a donation to Daisy's Resource Development Center, among other companies,
Yes,
But
yes.
what's unique about Dream Center?
I think I'm unique because the call that I have on my life is to support young people. So we are not just working, we're not just a pre-college program, but we're working with middle schoolers and high schoolers. And I've even done some work with students in college and grad school. This organization was birthed out of my wanting to do something in honor of my mother, who passed away about 10 years ago. My mother died of a massive heart attack. And when she did that, the thing that kept coming to mind for me was how kind she was. She was a champion for the people. She was a champion for her community. Everybody knew Miss Hattie. And so as a result, I knew that I would go on to fulfill that legacy. Actually, for Savannah Dream Center, in addition to just helping students understand that they can pull themselves out of poverty by just getting an education, by just pursuing something more, whether it be a degree or a career certificate, but they can certainly do it. And I have to show you this. I'm going to hold it up to the screen. Let's hope you can read it. Our motto, you can read it.
Yes.
Says, I am building dreams, transforming lives, creating legacy. And that is what Savannah Dream Center is all about. We are here to make sure that students who may not have the full support system that they need, whether it be at school, whether it be in their homes, we are here to help provide that support system.
Our actually motto is my high school motto too. In ourselves, our future lies.
Absolutely.
If you could instill that in the youngsters, it means a great deal. It's
right, and it all starts with the dream. It starts with a dream, and so you dream it, and then you can believe it, and then you can pursue it, and then you can achieve it. And that's what I believe. So I believe that the students that are a part of Savannah Dream Center that are touched by the work that we do, those students will go on to not only transform their own lives, but they will be able to transform the lives of their families, and then families will transform the lives of their communities.
God opened doors for us. We should open doors for others.
Absolutely. I've always been a believer of that. And I think my mother taught me that if you have something in your hand, you can certainly share that with somebody else. I can't tell you enough. As I mentioned, I had a number of mentors, male and female, in college and in graduate school that made a way for me.
Okay.
Because they supported me, they offered that encouragement. Sometimes everything is not always going the way you want it to go. So even in those hard times, I was still receiving the support encouragement, not necessarily financial support, but the encouragement, the ideas about how I could go over and talk to somebody else and maybe that would make a difference for me. Hey, there's a scholarship over here. And so when we started Savannah Dream Center, we started with a scholarship in honor of my mother. And we have been doing that scholarship, giving that to Lake County students, to students in the Savannah, Georgia area. We've been doing that probably for about 12 years.
Train up a child the way he should go, and when he or she, is old,
they will not depart from it. That's right.
Right.
That's right. So this is a part of it. I'm a strong believer in mentoring, modeling, showing, demonstrating that, and in other mothering. So I am an other mother to a number of students. Not only do I do the Savannah Dream Center, but I also am employed at College of Lake County. I have been doing that work for about 12 years. I've also worked with the Boys and Girls Club of Lake County. I've done a lot of work in the area, and it's just been rewarding to see that if I see a student and that student is 8 years old, and then I see that student again when they come out to the college, that is rewarding. That means that I've done my job. And I believe that we all have a mission to fulfill. And again, that's my calling. So that's what I'm seeking to do.
There are 3 types of people in the world: those that make things happen, those that watch things happen, and those that wonder what's happening. So you are the one that I see a cat in the is that our support, John? Oh,
we still see John.
He can't hear, but he has a company. He has a cat there helping him out there. Okay,
I see.
But you are one that make things happen.
I believe in seeking the opportunity and then pursuing it.
Okay.
I believe that God has gifted me with a number of skills and a number of experiences where I've learned those skills. And so I believe that in my life, things there's like this moment, then there's the next moment. And yes, I believe in making it happen with God's will.
Right. I may think this may be the last one I give. The things you do for yourself are gone when you're gone.
Yes.
But the things that you do for others remain as your legacy.
Yes.
So you have a legacy that will go on and on forever. And
I absolutely agree. Yeah, and my mother's legacy is living on in me. So
Right.
It's my responsibility to make sure that when I leave here, I would have done everything that God called me to, and there will be many more who come behind me.
Right. Where are you physically located? Do you have a building or?
We do not have a building yet. We are physically located in Savannah, Georgia. So from the home that my mother used to own, my sister's there now, and she is actually the chief financial officer for the organization. And so that is where we do some of the work, but primarily, Dr. Brooks, right now we're taking full advantage of this Zoom platform technology. So we are doing all of our workshops. We do Saturday workshops. I'm doing those for middle schoolers. We have a complete calendar for that. We're doing high school workshops on Saturdays as well. And we're doing all of that from the comfort of my home. So I can do all of that via Zoom. And to get a young person, a middle schooler or a high schooler, to wake up on a Saturday morning and to log on, that is major. So I say to the young people, I'm very thankful for them to take control of their own education and take advantage of the opportunities that are being presented. So we are doing everything via technology, Zoom, telephone, email, yes.
This technology is really something else, If you're in the woods and your Wi-Fi go down, what do you do?
Well, first off, I make sure that I'm not, Dr. Brooks, I will not be in the woods at a time when I'm supposed to be doing the work.
Well,
So I
what
make
happened?
sure that I'm positioned. And if something should happen, we always have the backup. Everybody has a cell phone. That usually works pretty well
I have to get
with
my
the
joke.
smartphones.
I have to get my joke in.
I know. We
You
make it work.
you-
We make it work.
You log in.
Yes. We make it work. We make it work.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And you mentioned about during this pandemic that we're going through with, you still provide your services.
Absolutely. So we're still able to use the Zoom platform. We're using telephone. We're using email. We use texting. And I don't do this work alone. So let me say that.
Oh yeah, I was
believe
going to ask you about that.
Yes, I believe in collaborating. So I collaborate with a number of other organizations and agencies to get the word out and to get the work done.
Now you have a board of directors,
I do have a board of directors.
So it's not a one-man show.
Oh, no. We have, we try to do things the way they should be done. So we have a board of directors, we have a meeting. I actually have my youngest graduated from Howard University, and he is back home because of the pandemic. And so we are able to, I tell you, he's been a big blessing in terms of helping me get a lot of the literature out, helping me create the documents that we need to create to be able to showcase what we offer to students. So he's been acting as our PR specialist.
HBCU. My granddaughter graduated from Howard too. My granddaughter, she's a nurse.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
She's been a nurse for 4 years now, and she's working on her master's now,
Okay, Howard is the place to be.
Yeah, right. Same as our vice president, right?
Absolutely. And my sorority sister, yes.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Well, I know finance plays a great part, and if anyone want to donate to your, not to your organization, but your calling, how would they do it?
They would just reach out to me. They would find me at Savannah Dream Center, one word, at gmail.com. And I will tell them all of the details for how they can donate. They would not be donating to me. They would be donating to scholarships for students. We've been so fortunate, as I said, to give scholarships for about 12 years. And last year we had scholars that went on to, one slated to go to DePaul because of the campus being closed. She started her education at College of Lake County, but she was able to negotiate those scholarships. So when she starts in the fall at DePaul, she will be all set and can still get that money. We had a scholar that went to Dartmouth. Yes, we have a scholar that went to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. And then we have, of course, 2 local scholars who are at College of Lake County. So we actually gave 2 college students last year.
Now, do you do recruiting for your students, or how do they find out about?
Well, again, that collaboration is key, Dr. Brooks. So I collaborate with Chocolate Chips Association, Karen Jones.
Miss Jones.
Yes, so we're collaborating, and a number of her middle schoolers. We do a program with them called Mentoring Matters.
Okay.
And last week, we just did a program on Leader Smarts 101. So we're working with them. We've worked with the Seasons 2 company. That's Dr. Sylvia Johnson-Jones. We've had University of Illinois 4-H, Dr. Michelle Cox was a part of it. Adrienne Price, Ashley Cullen-Williams, a number of people who are already either at College of Lake County or in the local school districts. We're working with them. We're collaborating with the TRIO program. So we make sure, and I get a number of those students that come into our workshops on Saturday. So just getting the word out, letting people know this is available. All they have to do is go to savdreamcenter.org. They can sign up, and then we will send them the Zoom details so that they can attend.
Well, if they have not heard about Dream Center and Incorporated, they have now.
Yes, they have.
Right.
Yes, they have. Thanks to you, Dr. Brooks.
I would say this, that great minds, again, discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss things. And I have to put you in a category of great minds, because this
And
is
I appreciate that.
a great mind. Great. Leadership plays a great importance, right? Because you have shown great leadership.
I would hope so. I tend to be modest about that, and I'm always surprised when somebody acknowledges me in the community. I just found out the other day there's a nursing sorority in the area. They're going to be giving me a humanitarian award. I've gotten, with Elroy Reed and the People's Voice and that award, Lake County, the African Americans in Lake County. I've gotten a number of awards, but I'm most proud of, you want to know what I'm most proud of? I'm most proud of every student that comes to a workshop, and if they walk away and they've learned one thing, and they've learned how to dream, or something has been reignited in their spirit, that they feel they can do it because they haven't gotten support anywhere else. Those are the things that I'm most proud of.
Well, there's no vision, people perish, right?
Right.
And you have definitely a vision. Now, where do you expect to be in the next 3 to 5 years when you're calling?
Well, I expect that God will give me an opportunity to do this work, continue to do this work. I expect that more students will go on to graduate from high school and college. Just because there's a pandemic, I know a lot of people are down about that, but I truly believe that we have an opportunity to send more students to college, to help them get some education beyond high school. And I have to tell you, I expect that I will be connecting with more school districts. I will be mentoring and supporting more of our students, the young scientists, the engineers, the mathematicians, the artists, the authors, the entrepreneurs, the corporate CEOs, financial giants, healthcare professionals, and many others in various careers, the computer scientists. I will be working with those students and helping them to pursue and fulfill their dreams. And when that happens, that is when the Savannah Dream Center mission and vision will be fulfilled, that we are able to transform those students' lives, they transform the families, and the families then transform the full communities.
You mentioned you have a board of directors, but you meet by Zoom, I suppose, right?
Yes, we do. And guess what? It's easier for the secretary because we can simply send her the Zoom recording and she can get the minutes that way.
Oh, that's so. So I mentioned that because strategic planning is so important, then, right?
Yes. You know what, Dr. Brooks, when I worked for Kraft, one of my roles, and I was a food scientist when I started, but I went on to get promoted and I was a director, and then I took on specific projects. And I remember one of them being in strategic planning. And even back then, although I don't know what the Dream Center would come to be, I knew that God was preparing me for something bigger. He would always say to me, I would just hear it, this voice that said, you think this is for this company, but I'm going to give you something more. And to be entrusted with the lives of so many students who have great futures ahead of them, I feel very blessed.
Fantastic.
Strategic planning has been a huge part of that.
Great. You mentioned about maybe equity and inclusion.
Yes.
You want to elaborate?
Yes, I will. I had an opportunity, I think it was last September, to write an article for the National After School Association. And that article was written, I've written a couple of books, I've done a few things, but I tell you, that was such a blessing to me, and I think to the people who read it, to the other educators and other professionals. The article was on leading youth with equity and inclusion. And in that article, I don't know if you've read it, but if you haven't, go take a look. But in that article, it was a great opportunity to just share how educators can work with students and make sure that they are creating an equitable environment for them and that everyone feels valued and included.
Yeah, creativity is so important, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm sure that, but how many students have you serviced?
Oh, I can tell. So let me back up a little bit. And I know I probably only have about a minute, but I'll say this.
Well, how did you guess?
Through Savannah Dream Center, we have probably served hundreds of students.
Okay.
And we've only been doing the virtual thing since last June.
Yeah.
But through my life and just working as an educator and as an educated professional, I have probably served thousands and thousands of students. And I have mentored hundreds of students. So God is just using all of the gifts that he's given me to continue the work. This is just one more part of that, one more layer.
This is fantastic. I'm going to give Yolanda her paycheck for
She'll appreciate that.
for introducing me to Dr. Sharon Sanders-Funnye. This has been fantastic. And the Lake County, not only, like I mentioned at the top of the program, not only the Lake County area has been benefited, but the whole world has been benefited because drbrooks.tv, Facebook, and you're all over. Because I had not heard of you, before Yolanda mentioned it to me.
Okay. Well, I'm happy that you gave me an opportunity to just be here, one, and then to share a little bit about Savannah Dream Center. I believe that great things will come from this organization, from the calling that God placed on my life. And I certainly believe that he will continue to do greater things with all of the students that we serve. I pray for those students.
Right, fantastic. Well, we pray that more students will get involved.
Yes,
You should be in the Lake County Forest Preserve Museum.
No, I don't know. I was trying to get Dr. Daisy Brooks in there. I'm not sure what they're doing, but maybe long after I'm gone, somebody will say, remember that lady to do that? Students don't always remember your name. And I'm the first to tell anyone, I'm not all that concerned that they remember my name. I just want them to remember the impact that the work I did had on their lives and on their families and on their communities. That is the legacy that I seek to leave.
Right. This is fantastic. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, I'm always quoting.
Yes.
Lives of great men often remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing, leaving behind us, prints on the sands of time.
Yes.
That sounds like what your mother has done with you, right?
Yes. I think that everything that she demonstrated, she modeled, mentored, and she mothered me. And she mothered me in an appropriate way that I was able to learn so much from her. Not just what she said, but what she did. How she would help anyone in the community who needed it. It was just for the asking.
Yeah. Now, Savannah, Georgia, is that near Atlanta?
Savannah, Georgia is about 3.5 hours south of Atlanta. Oh. It's actually 2 hours from Jacksonville. So it's right there, it's not North Georgia, more Southern Georgia.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. So if you ever get a chance, have you heard of Hilton Head, South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, Savannah is about 45 minutes from Hilton Head. My grandparents grew up, they were raised, I still have family in Hilton Head.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Dr. Sharon Sanders-Funnye, founder of Dream Center Incorporated, right?
Savannah Dream Center Incorporated.
Yeah, right. This has been Lake County Community Forum. My name is Dr. Wadell Brooks Sr., your host.